Hello and welcome to BIZ Inbox. I'm Em Vernem and I am so pumped to have the amazing Sarah Davidson joining me in the studio today. If you're into podcasts, you've probably binged an episode or two of Sarah's pod, Seize the Yay. Sarah has quite literally flipped her career upside down. She ditched the corporate lawyer gig to launch her own retail brand and become a relatable voice for anyone with big entrepreneurial dreams. Sarah, thank you so much for coming back here. We are very, very excited.
Oh, Em, thank you for having me back. It's been a joy. I mean, you'll just struggle to get rid of me now. I'm attached to you. I'm like what are those things I'm a leech. I'm a leech.
You're like what I said last episode. You're a lurker, except we're
I'm
both
a
lurking on each other now.
lurker. Yeah, this is the start of a long-term relationship. I'm so excited.
Oh, today we are going to chat about those moments when life goes completely off script and how sometimes throwing your carefully crafted plan in the bin can lead to the best possible outcome.
That is right, Em. This week, I will tell you how forced office fun can actually be fun,
Mhm.
plus why being busy is not the badge of honor that we all seem to think it is. And that is definitely a place I've come from, wearing it on my shoulder, thinking that I was absolutely amazing, but chronically burnt out. But first, let's
Oh.
talk pre-interview rituals.
This is a fun one because I'm sure it's different for everyone. We all have one. Mine just involves anxiously walking around in circles. But we got this question. I know it's really embarrassing, especially if you're like around me at the time. I just can't help it. It's just something that I've always done since I was a little kid. But we've actually got this question from Zoe, who's from Townsville, and she writes, "What's the one pre interview ritual that actually makes a difference? My friends swear by the 2-5-10 rule, which is a 2-minute power pose, 5 declarations, for example, saying, I will crush this interview, and 10 deep breaths. Do you have any other go to techniques? I've never actually heard of this 2-5-10 rule, but I feel like standing in a power pose for 2 minutes feels like a long time.
It is a really
Like,
long
doesn't that feel
time.
like so long?
It is a really long time. I've heard of all three of those things separately, but never as a rule. Like I've
Oh,
never tried it. So I wonder if that would be really efficient, kind of throwing everything at the problem. I haven't, I can't say, like,
yeah.
I can't speak to it from personal experience, but I feel like definitely the 10 deep breaths thing, that's universally a good place to
Mm,
start. Like one of the things that with any emotion really that's overcoming you, nerves, anger, frustration, sadness, exhaustion, like there's nothing that some deep breaths and just slowing things down, just slow your heart rate down, can't fix. So I would always start there, whether or not it's part of the the 2-5-10 rule or not. I also find that a couple of like working on a couple of phrases that I know I'll answer well really helps me. So sometimes just before the
mm,
interview, so that it's fresh in your mind, there's always a couple of questions that you know you'll get asked. And I find like the more prepared you are, the less nervous you feel because you know that no matter what happens, you can kind of go into autopilot and that answer that you've practiced that rolls off the tongue really nicely, if you just focus on one or two of those that you know are your real standout moments, like that you're really good at asking or you have a really good answer for, kind of saying them over and over again just gets me in the zone of like, okay, I know this. By the time you get in there, it's fresh in the, forefront
mm.
of your brain. You're not too distracted. It's kind of there. So saying it over and over again. And also, this sounds really kooky and woo woo, but it really works for me.
Oh my God, tell me.
And it's just visualizing. It's visualizing yourself in there having a really positive interview. It's just like visualizing you
Oh.
sitting down, smiling, them smiling at you, and visualizing it going well. Because I think sometimes all you do is, without even realizing, you're visualizing a bad outcome. Like anxiety can lead you to think of all the things that can go wrong. And sometimes you bring that about by getting in there, and already your brain's gone through the scenarios going, oh my God, I'm going to stumble on my words. I'm going to forget what I'm saying. And then, of course, when you sit down, that's all you're thinking about. So you forget what you're saying. But if you visualize it going really well, I feel like it gives you a little bit of confidence that it will go well. And that's the same with like athletes. I know a lot of elite athletes visualize their race going well
Mm.
before the race, or singers and performers visualize a good performance. So it's like once you've seen the possibility of it going well, it helps bring that about. So I think visualize a really great interview, and that sets you up well for a good interview.
I'm so excited for Zoe. Big good luck for your interview. I'm sure you'll smash it. And if you want to do a power pose, I'm a big fan of hands on hips. Like that one works. You feel just so good.
100%. It's like Wonder
Not sure
Woman.
about the 2 minutes though. That's a lot. It's Wonder Woman. Okay, our next question comes from Mel from Brizzy, and she writes, do I have to tell my boss that I'm looking for other jobs? My manager has always emphasized how they value open communication and transparency, but I'm worried they'll sideline me for projects or treat me differently if they know I might leave. Is there a right approach here, or does it depend on the workplace? Oh, this is a juicy question. I actually have no idea. I'm always a blabbermouth, so I would tell my boss like straight up if I was looking for other jobs.
It is a really
I'll just
juicy
be like, "Yep,
one.
I am."
It's really hard, and I actually encountered this when we started our business, and I wasn't actually preparing to leave at the beginning, but even the fact that I'd started something that could be considered to compromise my mental availability or my dedication to my job, and I know it's controversial, and I don't actually know what the done thing is in workplaces these days. I don't know whether there is an expectation that you're supposed to tell people, but I personally
Yeah.
went from giving 8,000% to my workplace and feeling like I owed it everything, and like it's the right thing to have integrity and tell people your plans for your life so that they're across it and they can work it into their business plans. But I ended up realizing you're actually pretty expendable in most situations, especially like if we're talking about a
Mm.
big company. And I feel like the workplace wouldn't tell you if they were planning to make you redundant. I don't think they'd give you notice 6 months in advance that they'd started to think about restructuring just so you could organize your life around
Yeah.
it. So
That's
I
so
kind
true. I didn't even think of it like that.
yeah, I kind of think it's my business what I might be doing waiting in the wings. I kind of think
Mm.
it's my business what I do with my plans and my future, and whether it's a side hustle or whether it is an attempt to leave. I also don't think that you need to jeopardize your current relationship or your work, because absolutely they'll treat you differently if they know you're sort of halfway out the door. I don't think that you need to do that until you definitely know that you're leaving. So just looking for jobs, like what does that achieve for you? You haven't got the new job, but you've gone and told the current workplace that you're not as
Mm.
committed or as present, which means they're going to judge your ability to do your job correctly when you might still be 100% dedicated, but they're never going to believe that you are. So I personally, and this sounds terrible and
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm putting this on the record, but I personally think, make your moves quietly until you really do have to, until you do. And I think once you do have the job, then you owe it to them. But I don't think, think about it in the reverse. Would they tell you about redundancy? Probably not. So you don't owe them that.
Oh my god, I love that. We should have like a segment on this episode on called WWSD. What would Sarah do?
No, no, I don't want to out myself too much. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. I feel so bad. But I also feel like it's so common for people to feel like they owe their workplace a lot more of themselves than they do, and
Mm.
then to be
Yeah.
brutally disappointed down the track. Not all the time, there are amazing workplaces out there, but just to be brutally disappointed down the track when they realize that it, of course, a corporation can't give you back the same as you would give as an individual, and that you don't owe them, yeah,
Yeah.
everything. Not everything. You owe them to be a good worker and do your job, but you don't owe them everything.
Oh, that's so good. Well, good luck, Mel, and I hope you find a job that you absolutely love. But yeah, WWSD. Okay, this next question is on office morale, and it's from Jamie, who's a team leader in Melbourne. And she says, I manage a team of 12 and want to boost morale without the eye rolls that come with forced fun. Any suggestions for genuine ways to lift the office vibe on Mondays or Fridays that don't feel like corporate team building nonsense? Oh, this is a good one because I do feel like, especially when there's big like age gaps in teams and you end
Mhm.
up having like a leadership team who are a bit older, maybe of a different generation to the employees below. But what I find actually works is if you get one of the younger employees to do the fun admin stuff. Like if you ask them to, can you book the dinners? Can you book the lunches? Can you think of some ways to like gamify something. And I find that works so much better. Like, it's probably annoying for that person unless they love it and they've shown that they love it and they want to try new things and experience kind of like an event management space. But it actually works so much better when it comes from a colleague rather than management.
100%. Yeah. And I think that, like a separate, like an extension of that sentiment is just ask them. Like,
Mm.
there's only 12 of them. Ask
Yeah.
ask them for 12 suggestions and then pick one of them. Like,
What do you want to do?
see what overlaps. And I think one of the big things with the whole, like, there's always going to be a bit of eye roll about work fun, because like work fun, no matter
Mm.
what it is, it's still work fun, really. It's still a fun activity, is still, it's still with your colleagues, and it's still kind of considered your work persona. You can't really let loose. But I think a really big thing to do is just choose activity. Like, it's so straightforward. Choose activities that people would genuinely enjoy if they weren't with their colleagues. Like, why does everyone suddenly think,
Yeah.
let's go to an escape room, when half the population wouldn't enjoy an escape room outside of, like, they wouldn't go there with their, I mean, some people would, but they just, there's these like stereotypical corporate team building activities, and there's always some element of you having to work as a team. Things like an
Oh.
escape room, it's like, of course that's going to be daggy because it's so stereotypical.
Mm.
So just think about, like, I would
Yeah.
genuinely go and do paint and sit with my friends. So if I had to do it for work, it would feel a
Yeah.
lot less daggy, because I'm like, that's a really nice activity. It's more relaxed. I'm not actually being made to work as a team either. It's not just an extension of my job. It feels like a reward. I feel like, make
Yeah.
the activity feel like a reward, something lovely, relaxed, and fun. And maybe, yeah, ask them what they would like to do.
Yeah, that's so true. I agree completely. I think the team building activities need to be so separate to the morale boosting activities, and definitely no escape room. Like, the last thing your colleagues want is to be trapped in a room with you. Like, get out of
Yeah.
there.
And I also feel like that assumes that you're analyzing who's taking initiative to be the leader and who's going to
Yeah.
be, and like, it just brings out these characteristics that it makes people stressed. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's like, oh my god, my manager's watching if I have initiative. Like, people just want to enjoy themselves. So
Yes.
let them just draw a bad
Yeah.
cow and have a glass of wine together, you know?
Yeah. Something easy. Even just like going to a nice dinner where you can just like
Yeah.
sit near whoever and just like chat and chill and don't talk about work. It's just like those simple things are just so easy to execute, and it actually does benefit the team as a whole.
Totally. And I also think sometimes morale comes from the cohesion of a team and them getting to know each other
Mm.
as people. And like, in an escape room, you're not actually having conversations about who you are
Yeah.
and your lives. Whereas if you go to dinner and then you play
Yeah.
musical chairs, which that's the bit that makes it a wanky corporate team building activity, which everyone will roll their eyes about musical chairs, but at least you get
Mhm.
forced to sit next to a different person and have a cute conversation with them.
So good. Oh my god, I love that answer, and now I really wanna go to dinner. I'm starving. Well, thanks so much for helping us clear the biz inbox. If you have a work question, please send it our way. You will find a link to submit your questions in the show notes. You can tell us your name or remain completely anonymous. It is up to you.
And if you missed any of our episodes, just scroll back in your feed. We'll be back in the BIZ Inbox next week. Bye.
See ya!